Peace and blessings, everybody. Felita here. I know that it has been a long time since I've actually posted a video. So I wanted to come on today and I wanted to give you all an update to let you know where I am and give you a health update. So, of course, the last video that I posted, I posted that my last and my final chemo um, treatment had been canceled. So I have been really working on taking good care of myself and really focusing on extreme self care since then. Um, I have gotten back into the groove of my more consistent exercise because when I was going through chemo, I was still getting up going to exercise, but I would get so tired in between my in between walking. I had to like stop after a certain amount, after a couple of blocks or so, because I would just be out of breath. I had to stop and catch my breath. And so while I was going through chemo, I could only do about 3/4 of a mile, no more than a mile. And so thankfully, I'm happy to report that I'm back up to 3 miles a day. Woohoo! I'm so excited about that. So I have really been focused on really taking good care of me, my body, and all of those good things. So I'm very thankful. So just to give you an update on everything, I was supposed to have had a phone conference with my oncologist a couple of weeks ago. However, it was storming really bad that day, and for some reason, my phone does not work well in my house. Sometimes I don't even hear my phone ring. So I ended up missing her call that day. However, I did follow up with her to ask her if we could reschedule. So we have the phone conference rescheduled for March the 2nd. So I'm sort of estimating that I probably will be starting my immunotherapy treatments the following week, somewhere around March the 9th. And so I'm just really kind of ready to get all of those treatments out of the way. I'm supposed to have 12. I'm not sure if I'll have to do, since I've already done five, I'm hoping that I will only have about seven more. I don't know if I will, I don't know if she'll do or schedule me out for the entire 12, because even during when I was having my chemo treatments, I was receiving the treatments during that time. So I'm not sure if that will count towards the 12 or what. So I'll find out when I speak with her on March the 12th. But just to share some good news with you, I did have another mugger scan, which is like an electrocardiogram where they basically check to see how your heart is doing. And it was declining tremendously when I was on chemo. And I'm happy to report that my numbers are rising. And my doctor was so excited to see how well they're rising. She really commended me on, that. So, and I contribute that to just not stopping my exercise, just continuing my exercise. Even when I was extremely tired, I still pushed myself to do something, even though it wasn't, my full 3 miles. So I continued to push myself. And so it really has paid off in my numbers and how my numbers are showing up. So I was really excited to hear that those numbers are increasing. I also had an appointment with the radiation oncologist a couple of weeks ago. It was right around the same time. Um, and when I went in to see the radiation oncologist, I had my husband and I had quite a few questions. And of course, she explained to me the reason why radiation was recommended in my case and everything. And so she explained everything. And so I guess my biggest question for her was that based upon my pathology report, what could she basically tell me based upon that report, or what was her projection of um, the actual recurrence rate in my case? And so she told me that based upon my report, she said that it's probably about 30%. And right after I had spoken with, well, actually, after I did my post op appointment with my breast surgeon, I mentioned to my breast surgeon that radiation was recommended as well. She told me that I was in the gray area. She said, I'm not telling you not to go through with it, but she said, you are really in the gray area and it will be totally left up to you as to whether or not you wanted to go through radiation. So after speaking with the radiation oncologist, and she told me that the recurrence rate was only about 30%, I just decided that I'm not going to go through radiation. The numbers are just not high enough for me to subject myself to all of that. Plus, I've seen, oh my gosh, some horrible, horrible photos of some of the ladies who have gone through radiation and had, major, major burns. Now, a lot go through it and they don't have any problems whatsoever, but I've seen too many radiation burns that it has literally scared the hell out of me. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to subject myself to that. And so, even if you do have major burns, I even asked her about why is it that if you ended up with, major burns, why is it that the treatments can't be stopped? And she said because it would affect the actual full term treatment. That's the reason why you have to go every day. You have to go every single day, 5 days a week. So you're only resting on Saturday and Sunday. So she actually had me set up for a total of 25 treatments plus 5 additional treatments. So I had a total of 30 set up. And so I asked her about those, the burns. If you were burned, why is it that, the treatments couldn't stop? And she said it was because it would just interfere with the entire treatment. So I'm just not willing to subject myself to that. And so I'll take my chances. 30% is a low number. So I'll take my chances on that. So I'm just following what I feel within. And right now, my intuitive voice is telling me, no, it's not worth it. And plus, in addition to that, out of all of the ladies who I've seen in the group, there's been numerous ladies still come back who have gone through chemo and also gone through radiation, and they still come back, with recurrences. So I'll take my chances and just follow my intuitive voice. Um, and with that being said, I also met with the plastic surgeon. She referred me on to see the plastic surgeon, and I met with the plastic surgeon on last Thursday, I believe it was. And thankful that my husband supported me during this visit, because my husband sometimes asks questions that I don't even think to even ask. So he's been a true, true champion throughout this entire process. He has really supported me, and I'm so thankful and grateful for him. I don't know what to do. And so after I met with the plastic surgeon, he examined me, and I told him that I was interested in I think it's called the die flap surgery or something. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's the surgery where they take the fat from your abdomen and they reconstruct a breast. So that was what was in my mind. Those were my intentions when I went in. And so after he examined me, he told me, unfortunately, I am not a good candidate for that surgery because I do not have enough body fat. So bummer. All this body fat I had before, when I first started this journey, I was almost 195 pounds. And now I'm about 142 pounds. So I have lost about 53 pounds on this journey. And I went from about my body fat, my BMI at the time when I started, because when I go to the doctor, they give you a printout with your BMI, your weight, your blood pressure, and all of this. And my BMI when I first started this journey was 38.9%. And so now my BMI, which is body mass index, my BMI now is only 23.2%. So I have lost about 15% body fat, which has considerably helped in my situation as well because I was overweight, which was one of the factors that went against me as well, that contributed towards my diagnosis. So I'm thankful for the weight loss, and I've never ever been this small in my life. I went from a size 14. I used to wear size 14 in dresses. I was always much bigger in the top than I was in the bottom. So, but I went from a size 14 in dresses to a size 6 in dresses. I went from a size extra large in tops to a size medium in tops. I went from a size 12 in pants all the way down to a size 6 in pants. So I am extremely small. I don't even remember being this small when I was in high school. So I posted in my group today, my Eating to Live group. And if you're not a member of the group and you'd like to be added to my group where I share different things about, healthy eating, and we talk about different strategies and things of that nature. If you'd like to be added to my group, I'll leave the link below, and you can send a request to join the group there. But I shared there in the group today what I believe contributed to my weight loss, because a lot of people think that weight loss has a lot to do with exercise. It only has 20% to do with exercise. Your weight loss has 80% to do with your diet and 20% to do with exercise. So what I did that contributed to my weight loss, go ahead and share it with you here, was that when I was first diagnosed, I decided to commit to doing colonics, and because I knew I had bowel issues. And so I committed myself to doing colonics. So I went in for my first treatment, and unfortunately, the consultant told me there, she said, you got a bad case. And she said it's going to take more than one visit to really help you. And so I asked her, I said, how many visits would it take to get me on track? And she said, you're going to need at least 6 to 10 treatments. And so I went ahead and committed to 6, and I made the investment in 6. And so she told me, in order for this to really, really work effectively, she said, you need to eliminate meats. You need to also eliminate sugar. You need to also eliminate dairy, and you also need to eliminate gluten. So during that time period, and I started like the second week of June, and during that time period, I eliminated all of that. Plus, I strictly did an entire plant-based diet. And within that 6-week time frame, I dropped about 30 to 40 pounds. I think about it was between 30 and 40 pounds, because I eventually ended up losing the other 10 to 12 pounds after I started treatment. But the majority of the weight loss came before I started treatment. So that's why I said, the treatments only contributed to about 12 pounds of weight loss, because I had originally lost about 40 pounds before I actually got started. So I said all of that to say this, is that your diet and what you consume every day is a major contributing factor to your health. And, I have to be perfectly honest. I love junk food, and I just never really liked to eat a lot of vegetables. Okay, so my diet has completely changed. And although I still eat meats, I only eat them maybe about 3 times a week. I do more seafood more than anything. I don't like chicken anymore. It seems like after my diagnosis, I just can't seem to stomach chicken anymore. And I'm fine with that, because the way they're doing the chickens now is just not good for you anyway. So mainly I do like fish, salmon, ground turkey, and then of course turkey. I even tried to eat turkey a few weeks ago, and for some reason I can't seem to stomach turkey like I used to. I guess because it's really kind of in alignment with the chicken as well. So I have totally eliminated, and I never ate pork anyway, so I don't do pork. I eliminated the chicken, and so yeah, so that's where I am right now. I incorporate a lot more vegetables. Um, I hardly ever ate fruits. So, one of my health goals every single day is to eat at least three fruits in the morning and three vegetables in the afternoon, or basically evening time. So, I have to make sure that I consume the proper nutrients that my body needs so that I can continue to have proper bowel elimination. And that has really, really helped my bowels tremendously. So I don't have the bowel issues anymore like I used to. And I was telling everybody in my group that if you are consuming, 3 meals per day, and you are doing junk food in between, and you're snacking in between, and you're only going to the bathroom maybe once every other day, you are backed up and you are stopped up. So you really, really have to take control of getting that elimination in order. You should be having at least two bowel movements every single day. At least two. Three is good, but if you've got, I was told if you're eating 3 times a day, you need to make sure that you're eliminating at least 3 times a day. But you need to be eliminated at least twice, because the more you are consuming and you're not eliminating properly, that's causing your body to be very, very toxic, and you're putting yourself at risk to disease. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there at you. So yeah, so unfortunately I don't have enough fat to proceed with that surgery. So the only option I have at this point is to do um the implants. And then of course my husband asked if I gained some extra weight, would that help? And so he said yes. But he said, unfortunately, I can't tell you how much she would need to gain. So I already had plans to gain at least 15 to 20 pounds, and that will put me back up to about 160 pounds. I don't want to go above 160 because based upon my height, it says that I should be somewhere around 153 pounds. So that tells me that I was already overweight when I was diagnosed as well. So when you are overweight, that just kind of puts you at risk of a lot of other health challenges. So I really want to encourage all of you that if you are overweight, I do encourage you to, get rid of the weight, let that weight go, work on, getting yourself healthy, getting your body back in alignment with where it needs to be. Talk to your doctor, find out exactly where you need to be as far as your weight is concerned. Okay. So, yeah, so the plastic surgeon said that he couldn't tell us how much I would need to gain. So I am working on gaining weight now, which is a good thing. And I am not going to gain the weight by filling my body with all of the bad foods. Somebody was saying, well, come on, let's go, eat ice cream every single night. I can't even stomach dairy like that anymore. I've never been able to stomach dairy. And my body would always, my stomach would always give me warning signals, but I loved ice cream so much that I just totally ignored it. So I am not going to go back to consuming all of the bad foods that I consumed in the past. I am going to really work on consuming more of the healthy fats to help me in that area. So I'm really, really, really working on gaining, at least 15 to 20 pounds in hopes that that will help me. And then, of course, if that is not enough, then I really don't have another option other than to do the implants. And right now, I'm not feeling the implants, but at the same time, I don't want to be one-sided either. So thankfully, I have a husband who told me that no matter what, when I was leaving from the plastic surgeon's office, my husband grabbed me and he hugged me. He said, "Babes, I just wanted to let you know that no matter what you decide, I'm going to love you and I'm going to be here with you no matter what." And that just really, truly blessed my heart. I don't know what I'd do without my husband throughout this entire journey. He has really, really been a super, super trooper. and champion throughout this entire process and this entire journey. So that is it. I wanted to just give you an update. I will come back to you, and I'll give you another update as I move along the journey. And when I start my immunotherapy treatment, give you an update on that. It won't be nothing compared to chemo. I promise you that. So I'm just kind of ready to get that behind me so that I can get this entire process behind me. Okay, so I send you all peace and blessings and abundant blessings to you. Peace and love. And until the next time, y'all take care, take charge, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.